can uh I don't stop everybody from sounding like idiots. Because the things that people are saying are foolish and incorrect. Or incorrect. And so saying things about DNA and devices and throwing things in lakes and all these things that are being levied against Aldo, and he's under investigation and other like all of these things are just factually incorrect.
Yeah.
It is not the way that
that's why. So that's why I told you I can only speak on what I was told. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Lena and Chapo are the ones that said that he said the things about the servers. He didn't say that to me because the story he told me is exactly what I told you. That's what he told me.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. I imagine he lied about that. Right. I don't even know if I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm not saying that Aldo. Can you guys share the live out if anybody can get this to Pandora? I want her to hear this because she continues to sound like a dingbat, and I'm embarrassed for her. Chapo probably needs to zip it too, because it doesn't appear as though Aldo is getting out anytime soon.
Okay, yeah. See, I didn't even see her videos because I was busy with my kids, and also like I don't look people up, so I don't even know if he was ever arrested for anything in September. I don't know anything except for what people told me, and it was more like, okay, thanks for telling me, and that's it. Like that's it. That's all. Like, I did tell one friend who had a personal relationship with him, where she kind of looked at him like a father figure, kind of, I guess, because he had helped her at one time. And I told her, I was like, I think I've heard that he might be getting arrested, so just prepare yourself. Like, just be careful. Like, don't get too emotionally involved. That's it. Like, but right. Other than that, yeah, no, because I will not, I am not going to compromise an investigation of any kind, but like, especially if I think that it's that, no. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to say something that I don't know, that I haven't seen, that I haven't heard.
Right. Well, he's in custody, so the investigation's over.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so investigation's over. So everybody who's saying like he's under investigation,
yeah, because I didn't know, like, that's what I was wondering, because I was like, did something change in the past few days? Because I thought it was just cybersecurity, or not cyber, like, cyber stalking. Sorry, my son just graduated, he just passed the exam for cybersecurity, it's in my head. But, yeah, I thought it was for cyber stalking, and then all of a sudden today, I wake up to all these videos, like, Amanda was right, I was like, oh, damn, what did I miss? But I've been
Lady J, I know Lady J's your friend, but she's a ding-dong, too.
Yeah, I didn't know. And then somebody else told me that you had posted some videos, and I was like, oh, I should go check those out. But I haven't. Like, I've been so busy. I just got home. So I don't know. But yeah, I even said before, like, I'm not speaking on that, any of it. Like, any of it. And, like, I will not say that I heard something, know something with a definite certainty that I haven't seen or don't know. I've been there before. I'm not doing that. That's right. No. And I don't. He never said it to me. He said it to them, and then they.
He also said it in a live, though. He also said it in a live about throwing a device in a lake or something.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even catch that. Like, I really, when I was done, I was so done. Like, I only had conversations with those people in a group setting. I was just backing away so I could detach the way I needed to in a comprehensive manner. And then when she called me that night, because she trauma dumps a lot and she cries a lot, and anybody who's dealt with her a lot can tell you that. She cried to me, Lena. Yeah, she called me and cried about it and was telling me the story, and she said she believed it. She told me she believed it, and then she trauma dumped her own story, and that's the night that I stopped talking to her. That was October 20th, and I was like, because it was too much for me. Like, I just could not deal with it.
Lena should be worried about getting an attorney, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just based on what I've read.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, she should.
No, like in the court filings, and where these devices are right now. Mm-hmm. His devices are with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
Okay.
Right now, they're in the forensic testing department. Well, with the electronic forensic department. That's where
Yeah.
his devices are located right now. It is not in Georgia. Pandora and Eric have nothing on Aldo. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
The only person that has been able to get charges levied against Aldo is Becky. That is it. Becky
Yeah.
gets 100% of the credit for this. The charges are against
You just froze up. Or is it just me?
Aldo, brought on by the state of Georgia. The witness. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Becky's the only person that is responsible for Aldo being incarcerated right now.
Yeah, and she's the only one who didn't come to me and say anything. Yeah. She's the only one that I know for sure is involved in it. Yeah.
She's the only one with brains right now. She's the only one with brains. She has been quiet about this whole thing. She has said nothing. She's continuing to say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that I know is based on what I've seen the courts submitted to the courts.
Yeah.
In Georgia.
Yeah. I don't even.
His devices are.
Like NCP.
I don't know
like all these families, I don't pay attention to any of that. Like, and I only pay half attention to my own friends. So honestly, like, I don't know. I didn't even know why her and Pandora. Yeah, I don't even know why they were fighting. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know anything. Like, I don't know anything about any of that.
Right. I don't know why they're fighting either, but it's getting. I'm embarrassed for everybody who's so far making statements on this because they're wrong. Lady J, this has not been an investigation that's can go on for years. The investigation's over. He's in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's in jail right now. He has not even been indicted. Okay? He's not been formally charged with all of the charges that he is going to receive. He will be indicted on June 2nd.
Okay.
Probably an hour before he goes in front of the judge for his true bond hearing. He has not even been given a bond. The $5,000 that he's listed as his bond in Gilmer County Jail is not a true bond. He could not bond out. He's technically under no bond. They had to put a number there. They put it at $5,000.
I'm familiar with how that works. They did that with my ex. Yeah.
Yep. So, and the bond is set basically because of the charges that he has been charged with at that time, which is 2 felony count stalking, 1 felony count, which has now been reduced to a misdemeanor count of harassing phone calls or something. Right, 2 felonies and 1 harassing. Even with all that, that would not have been enough to extradite him from Kansas to Georgia.
Yeah.
That's just what they picked him up on, because they had probable cause to believe that on his devices was evidence of much more crimes.
Okay. See, that makes sense to me too, though. That tracks
because Becky's case.
Because of the crimes. It makes sense. I mean, of course they'd want to scan your devices. They do when it's internet crimes. Like, so that tracks. Like, and that's why I didn't understand why this morning all of a sudden everybody's like saying, that I don't know, they're acting like there's new information, and as far as I knew, it was just a cyber.
There's no new information. It is literally Pandora got in my box today, or got in my DMs today, to tell me that they have evidence of that Aldo's under investigation for the essay of a minor.
Okay.
That's what she right? That he's under investigation. First of all, if that is in fact true, that is the most irresponsible and heinous thing to do, would be to message somebody who has nothing to do with this investigation. If he were actually under investigation for that, why tell me? Why give me a heads up? Why give anybody a heads up? He is currently incarcerated. He can't hurt anybody right now. There would be
Yeah, that
no
was
need.
my vibe. I mean, like, and the thing is, too, when I was told, like, about that part, I was told that the child was no longer there. So, also that, too, at that point, okay, the child's safe, okay, assuming that this is true, which clearly it isn't, but the child's safe. They're clearly working on an investigation. So, like, why should any of us be speaking on it?
But has anybody seen evidence that he no longer has custody of his daughter?
I haven't, except for the fact that he stopped doing the mornings with her, whatever. But like, other than that, no, I haven't. No,
Right.
no.
Right.
You
Right.
can't
And
prove
it would be
somebody's.
logical. It would be logical if somebody continued to call CPS on me.
Mhm.
In my mind, it would be logical to say, I don't have custody of her anymore.
True, but he never even. I
put her
never
back on
saw
camera.
him say that though. Like, I never saw him even acknowledge that she wasn't there. Honestly, I'm trying to remember, but when I got out of the ICU, my brain was like so cloudy, just swimming. I'm trying to remember because those are around the same time. If he even, I think he might have even still been acting like she was, which confused me because,
Right, but he would probably privately tell people
right, that
that,
she, yeah.
and that would get people no longer calling CPS on him, right?
I mean, it's smart.
Right, that is smart. That is smart. I'm not saying that he's not guilty of any other crimes.
Well, yeah,
I'm
but you
fairly
can't,
certain that
you can't say he is either if you don't know it. So,
but I'm telling you that he is not in a Georgia county court because of Pandora or Eric or anybody. Pandora's telling me that he was forced to submit DNA. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, that's what
He was
she said
not.
to me too. Yeah, she did say that to me too. So it's not
That's a
just me.
lie. That's a lie. That's a
Yeah,
lie.
because that's what I was waiting for, honestly.
Aldo has been in prison before. All prisoners have been required to submit DNA since the 1980s.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Aldo would have been
I don't
4
even
years
remember
old
that.
in the 1980s. Aldo would have been 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
So when he went into the prison system, whether it's state or federal, he was required to give DNA. He has not in any recent time been forced to provide DNA unless he was proving that he was the father of a child.
Right.
The government already has his DNA. So when Pandora's telling me that, first of all, why? Why?
Right.
Why tell me? Why tell me? And then to say that he's in under investigation, the states are working together. No, they're not. The states are not working together. That's not how it works.
Right. Okay.
Georgia,
That's what she told me too.
She's lying. She's lying because she doesn't know either. Somebody's telling her this, and she's not smart enough to. She's believing it and then repeating it as if it's fact.
That's why I wouldn't repeat it as fact. States do not work
together, right?
Yeah.
Gilmer County is not going to work with Kansas, and they're not going to work with North Carolina county court systems or even state court systems.
Yeah.
They don't work together. The only time that any states are going to work together would be at the federal level. At the federal level. Now, let me tell you, if he was under investigation,
and I kind of thought that. But she didn't specify like what level of it was. And when she said the states thing, I was thinking, oh God, like like how deep is this? Honestly, I just listened mostly, and I was just like, okay. It creeped me out. It made me sick. Like Phoenix is down there. She can tell you, I was so sick over this. I was really, really.
And I'm not saying they're not going to find evidence of other things,
right?
By going through all of his devices, which are currently again at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation in the forensic laboratory right now, and everything's being extracted from them. And any devices that he might have had that was not seized during the warrant execution, they'll know about it. Right? They'll know. You can look on my phone, any investigation, forensic analysis of my phone would automatically lead them to every device that I've ever accessed.
Right.
Right. So if he threw a phone at the bottom of a lake, they're going to know there's a missing phone.
Right.
What's on that phone?
Because it pings and stuff too, and you have like everything's in your cloud. I think I don't know like how all this.
Well, I don't know if it. I don't know if it would still ping if it's at the bottom of a lake, but they can certainly see.
I mean, like, but
provide this phone. Right, this phone stopped working at this date. Provide that phone. Where's that phone? Or we're going to go looking for it. right? And if he says,
exactly.
I don't have it, right, they're going to go looking for it.
Exactly.
But they can figure it out. So with
Yeah.
the whole hard drive phone at the bottom, like everybody needs to stop that. That's probably a lie that just Aldo made up because he said some bogus, dumb stuff. Aldo's not smart enough to get on the dark web. Not saying that that's not true, but I'm telling you that it's highly unlikely that Aldo accessed the dark web and
Yeah.
accidentally downloaded child essay.
Yeah.
material.
So before,
Right.
before when all this happened, I asked a friend who works in cybersecurity in his field, and he said that it's like impossible. You can't just accidentally go on there, and you can't just accidentally download something like that. Like that's not a real story. But I didn't
Aldo
know.
couldn't even figure out the order of my legal last names through marriage. He is
Same.
not accessing the dark web.
Same. He couldn't.
He's
Yeah, he
not.
couldn't figure out that I had a hyphenated last name. He couldn't figure out which went where. Like any of the things. He's not. No, I know. None of them are legally smart. That's the thing. That's why they weaponize other people. That's why they do the stupid things they do. They think they're invincible. It's crazy.
Is it okay if I bring Tracy up, prison wife? She won't be mean to you.
Yeah, it's fine. I really don't not like her. I know she doesn't like me, so I just avoid her. But yeah, no, I don't care.
Tracy, I had to talk Amanda into coming in. I told her that nobody would be mean to her. So Tracy's obviously frustrated with the dumbassery that's happening on this app with this case too.
Yeah, I think everyone is, honestly. Yeah.
But we need to. He is only in jail right now because of Becky. It has nothing to do with anybody else. This is not Lady J is like Amanda was right. No, Amanda was not right. Amanda was not right. You were not right. And I'm not saying that you were lying, but I'm telling you that you are not right. Now, you could have just thrown a dart and hit something, and maybe something comes of the investigation that's going on at in the forensic lab, right? Maybe he's doing some really terrible stuff, and he'll be charged for that, right?
Well, like I said, I can only speak on what I was told and say that's what I was told. I did not hear that from that man. I told you the story he told me, and that was not the story he told me, and I can't even back that up because I've never looked him up. I don't care. Like I didn't look it up.
I know, but you're getting your information from Igloo.
Well, not just that. I mean, it was Pandora. Like she said that she had talked to people, like, and they had DNA. So, like, I didn't.
She told me, right? She told me that she knows because an investigator told her that he's being investigated.
She told me too.
Well, that's an investigator's job. If you go to the police and report a crime, right? You say, "Oh, a crime was committed." It's an alleged crime, right? It's still an alleged crime, and then an investigator investigates. That's what happens.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know. It's just crazy.
I'm very frustrated with Pandora right now because everything that she is sharing with me in the DMs is just patently untrue.
Yeah.
And I don't know why anybody's listening to Igloo who's a Canadian citizen.
Oh my God.
Has no idea.
I don't even really know him. Like, I don't even really know him. So, like, I don't know I don't follow him. I don't watch his stuff. Like, I don't even know him. So
Igloo's been sticking his nose in the middle of shit for like the last 6 fucking years. Like he just pops up and randomly shoves his nose in the middle of shit.
That's probably why I never followed
just
him.
ignore
I don't really. Well, he doesn't. So that's the only interaction or anything that I know that he like is involved. I don't know anything about him other than that he supposedly got an unredacted document. I don't know, but that's just what I was told. I didn't see it. I don't know.
Well, you should probably just stop repeating stuff that you're told by people out of the country.
I didn't though. Like I didn't though. Like I told Sam, but I didn't tell anyone.
I just watched a video. I watched a couple of videos of you saying it.
Well, I didn't say that part. I didn't say that part until I said the thing about that I can say that he said to who he said it to, and that they are the ones that told me that he said it, but I did not see it. He never said it to me. Like, and I've said that the whole time.
So he told Lena.
He told Lena and Chapo.
He told Lena and Chapo, Tracy, that he allegedly told Lena and Chapo that he accidentally fell into the dark web and wound up accidentally downloading some CSA material. Right? Now neither one of those two went to the police. I just need to throw that out there. He told them, allegedly he told them this. They both admitted that he told them this. And
Well, I
neither one of
can't
them went
even
to the
get
police.
past if it's coming from Lena or Chapo. I
Right.
can't even get past the fact that that's not even a lie.
So like,
Yeah, that's what I said. And the only thing that made me like question it or like its validity is because that's when Lena trauma dumped to me about her own history with like her allegations, and she was like super freaked out. And that's the night that I stopped talking to her and I blocked her on everything, and then she tailspin, and I didn't
Okay,
even
too much information. All
but
right.
like anybody with like a single brain cell knows you don't accidentally fall into the dark web. Like
I didn't
there are
know.
very specific browsers you have to have to be able to access the dark web.
Yeah, I've never tried, and I don't I don't know anything about that. I mean, that's what my kids
Yeah,
going to school for, so
you
I
don't
guess I'll
fall.
know
You're
some.
not falling into the
Well,
dark web on
here's
your
the
fucking
thing.
Google browser. That's
No
not
matter
how it
what,
works.
let's just say that that's true. I believe that whoever is investigating it and our law enforcement, they are so sophisticated with what they can tell by data and what they pull and how they do it, that let's give the complete benefit of the doubt that someone did accidentally come across that and now it's, in their phone data or whatever. I believe that law enforcement can absolutely tell that would be an accident. They weren't, you know what I mean? Like they were there, like cruising through a site, and that data shows that. Do you get what I'm
Right.
saying? So, like, I
For
wouldn't even be
for
concerned
example.
about
Oh,
that.
like you're
Right,
you're
for-
talking
for-
like he couldn't have accidentally fallen into that type of
Right,
content
but
if he was
for
looking other
example,
things. Yeah.
right, for example, Josh Duggar, right? That was his claim. That accidentally, was it Josh Duggar? It might have been the Stapleton, or whatever. That they accidentally saw it. They can tell, the forensic investigators can tell how many times you clicked on a picture, how long you clicked on the picture, how many times you went back to the picture. How did you actually download the picture? Did you request the picture? Did you send the picture anywhere? They can tell you everything that you did with that picture. It is
What you
very
searched.
different than accidentally seeing this picture and immediately Xing it out. It's very easy to
Right.
say, like, right, versus
So if
looking
that's
at
true,
proclaimed-
if
They know
that's
the
true, he
time
has
you
nothing to worry
downloaded
about.
it, everything.
But yeah, let's just say that's true. Then he really should have nothing to worry about because they can tell that that's just an accident.
Yeah.
And I don't think Aldo's worried about it. I don't. Is it true that I think Paris asked? Is it true that his wife refused to bail him out? He's technically under a no bond. He has no bond right now. I know that in the system it shows $5,000, and that's the standard bond amount for what he has currently been charged with. But he has not faced formal indictment. His formal indictment will come probably on June. Will definitely come on June 2nd. But it'll probably come about an hour before he's been ordered to the court. He's been ordered to face the court on June 2nd at 11 a.m. for his bond hearing. He'll get his formal indictment charges about an hour to 15 minutes before he is standing in front of the judge, and the judge is setting his bond. Nobody can bail him out right now. He cannot. She's not refusing. He just can't.
Right.
He's just on holdover until the arraignment.
Yeah, that's what happened with my ex. So that they do that sometimes, even just for the paperwork, just to have a number in place. I know
It's
they did with him.
it's actually pretty interesting that they're holding him over so long and that they push the arraignment so far out. I'm wondering they've got to still be looking into shit to be pushing it out that far.
Even at the very
devices.
least, playing even all those devil's advocate, and I can't stand that man. If he has crazy, like possibly not, I don't want to say crazy, but if he has people who are going around saying things about him that they're not sure about, and they're those kinds of things, you don't think if those people are in random people's inboxes? Because I didn't know her, and she told me all this the first day I ever talked to her. Pandora, I'm saying she. So, like, I'm just saying, if they're going around saying stuff like that, then maybe that's what they're looking into it. Like, we don't even know. So, like, honestly, everyone needs to
They're
stop.
not
But
looking into
No,
it.
but
What are you
Yeah.
Carolina's
talking
not
about?
looking into it.
no, that's what
Kansas
I'm
is literally
saying.
the
That's
only
what I'm
one that's
saying.
making
nobody's
videos on it,
investigating
Amanda.
that.
You're the
No.
only one I've seen make videos on it.
My point in what I just said though, Amanda, is that obviously they're still investigating and they're probably still looking through all of the data on his phones. And I know because he had like 8 different phones or some shit. He had a
Right.
bunch of them.
Yeah.
Right. So they're probably still going through all of that. And that's why the arraignment is like pushed out so far. Because usually arraignment happens pretty quickly. And in this case, they're not.
Well,
They're
you have
taking their
to
time.
within a certain amount of time. I think within 48 hours in the state of Georgia, you have to be given a bond hearing, right? And so, what your bond hearing can be like, oh, 2 felonies, one we're going to lower it down. That's when we saw it go from 1,000 to 5,000, and then you saw the 3 felonies go from 2 felonies and 1 misdemeanor, right? And then the bond was set at $5,000 with so you have to be given a bond. But there was also almost a precautionary, but you can't bond out because you have to face the judge. You'll be facing the judge for additional charges in, when you have your bond hearing. So he has to be given a bond hearing, but doesn't have to be technically given a bond. So it's either a number that's just filled in there, or it's just a number that kind of coincides with this is what we would give somebody who was facing 2 felonies. The 2 felonies that he's been charged with, which were felony stalking, which actually was 3 felonies he was initially charged with, was 2 felony stalkings, 1 felony harassing phone calls, right? Which technically isn't even a felony, but I guess it could be, how many times you do it. That still wouldn't be extraditable charges.
Right.
No, not on a
Georgia-
restraining order.
Right. Georgia would not go all the way to Kansas based on the timeline of when he was in Georgia custody, which would have been when Georgia put their handcuffs on him at the Kansas Lyons County Jail, right? Rice County Jail. That is when Georgia was in custody. To the time he checked in to the he was in process in the Gilmer County Jail.
Right.
He must have been flown back. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. They're not going to do that on 2 felony stalking charges. They could have got that. They could have had him charged with that in Kansas, right? Easily.
Right.
But they chose to go and get him and bring him back. And they had probable cause to search his home, take his devices, his computers, his hard drives. They had enough probable cause. It was no problem. There was nothing. The only thing that gave these police probable cause was nothing more than what Aldo himself has gotten on this online and bragged about having.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, I
other-
don't know. But the reason, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say the other side of that too, right? Is like Georgia could have also, because of that restraining order, technically already had jurisdiction over him. So Georgia could have filed charges against him and literally made him show up in person for court hearings over the restraining. If it was just restraining order nonsense, they could have done that. Like,
Right, they could have just ordered him to court.
yeah, this isn't. No court is wasting this amount of money and time
No, there's
simply
something
over
bigger
a
going
restraining order.
Yeah, there's something bigger coming down the tube.
And
I don't know.
think that
I don't know. I do
hold
have
on.
to. Okay,
Hold on.
sorry.
And you can continue to say that you don't know. I know that's going to be
No. I was saying I have to go in a minute, but
no, okay, you're
because I have
fine.
to call my son.
We're probably gonna keep talking about it because I do want Pandora to come up in here because
That's fine.
I need to clarify some things with her, because I'm getting frustrated that any of the credit is going to be taken away from Becky. The only reason why Aldo is in jail right now is because of Becky. It has nothing to do with Eric. It has nothing to do with Pandora. It has nothing to do with anybody else but Becky and Aldo.
It has nothing to do with Igloo. Has nothing to do with CP right now. None of that is going on.
Well, I didn't say any of that except for to Sam. I just told what I was told and all that. And the reason I made the video, I told Sam this, is because when I got up today, there were so many videos that were like, oh, Amanda was right. And I was like, right about what? Because I didn't even
Who
see
made all these videos? Who made all these videos?
Lady J, and yeah. Yeah, and I got a bunch of messages, and then I got a message that Sam had apparently posted videos, but I didn't get a chance to look at hers before she messaged me. So, I only looked at one, and it didn't.
Okay, when I post a video about something that is a crime, right, that is going through the court system, I am not posting conjecture, right? I'm gonna post facts, right? And it's not gonna be like, oh, investigations do take a long time. but to look at this, to know what his charges are, the state that he's in, where these charges were filed, the fact that they went and extradited him back to Georgia to the county where Becky lives, right? To do all of that and then say, oh, it was because of, for Pandora to say that it's because he's under investigation in Kansas, or he's under investigation in North Carolina. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Right.
I
This is
didn't, I
all
didn't even know. Like, I don't remember her saying that to me, but I don't. Yeah, I haven't heard her say. I don't pay. Like, I have not paid attention.
And
to any
listen,
of
like
that.
realistically, like if you've ever dealt with police officers during an investigation, they're not going to tell you all
No,
of these
that's-
like fine details. They're
Yeah,
not going to be
no,
like,
that's
yeah,
been
he's
my
under
experience.
investigation for this and da, 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 and we're doing this and no, they're not telling you all that.
Yeah, that's what. That was my experience too. But I do have to call my son. I'll just remove my videos. I really only posted them so that I could just be like, don't attach my name to saying he did anything except for what I can tell you he said to me. And then the other stuff that he said it not to me, and I never saw it. Okay, so like I don't know.
Right.
But other than that, like, yeah, but I'll remove my video. I really, like I said from the beginning, from this morning, I don't even want to be in this. I've left my entire friend group for the most part. So like, I'm not trying to like do this either. Like, I don't.
No, I just don't want you to continue to look dumb.
Oh God, no, I'm not. I haven't looked him up. I haven't. I don't like.
She didn't say look him up. She said look dumb.
Look dumb. Thank you.
I don't want you to continue to look dumb.
Well,
right?
I look dumb a
We're
lot.
gonna, gonna let Lady J continue to look dumb because you can't really stop her.
Can't
Well, I don't- I
steer
can't
that
control-
boat.
I can't control other
Yeah.
adults anyway. But I wouldn't
But
try.
I don't want you. Yeah, I don't want you to continue to look dumb. And it seems like everybody's kind of, except for Pandora, who's trying to take credit for what's going on with Aldo when she and Eric literally have nothing to do with it. Nothing that they've said, nothing that they've reported, nothing that they have done has done anything but had an investigator tell them we're investigating it, which is their job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I-
This is all-
no fruitation. This
Cannot
is
do
right.
that.
This is all Becky, and the reason why they took all of his devices, and the reason why they seized everything and it's at the forensic lab in Georgia right now is because of the stupid shit that he says
Yeah.
about having all these devices, and he has hard drives, and he has all this information of
satellites
people.
and
Yeah,
Oh well, yeah. He says he has unknowns. I mean, like, it's not. He's not the most credible. None of them. Honestly, like, I don't want to talk about any of it. And I was hesitant, to even come up here. And I told Heather just today, and I told her to tell you because, like, I genuinely do think that you would do the right thing with whatever information and come to the right conclusion. So, like, you're smarter than me, and you're just more mature and just more, I don't know, experienced and stuff. So I just thought, she should tell you. But I'm gonna delete those videos. That was an embarrassing chapter of my life. I don't want anything to do with any of that. I just wanted to clear my own name from what I was being attached to because I didn't know what had been said, what had been posted, what he hadn't been charged with. And I just wanted to say, I personally did not hear that or see that. And I never have said I did. I have always said the story he gave me and then the story I was given by Lena and Chapo that he gave to them were separate. And because I had asked at that point to not be involved in those conversations. And I wouldn't even talk to either one of them if my other friends who I could trust were not in the room. I just wouldn't. So
right. Do I think that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is going to be looking at everything that he's done on his devices? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as they should, but
do I think that they are aware that he has probably spread this rumor to people that he accessed the dark web and he accidentally downloaded? They're probably going to be looking for that information too now that they have his devices, right?
right.
They're going to be doing that. But
That's more what I was trying to say is that if people are going around and spreading TikTok rumors to the actual police who are investigating crimes, and maybe that's why it's taking so long, is because they're looking for stuff, and it doesn't mean it's there, it just means they're looking for it because people are running their mouths.
No, they have evidence. Listen to me. They already have evidence of crimes being committed.
Right, but it's like the cyber stalking, right?
They believe, right? They have evidence. That's why they were able to charge him and go.
Yeah, I'm
extradite
talking
him.
about the other stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm trying to explain to you. They have evidence of the crimes that he has been charged with. That is why he was charged with those crimes, right? The reason why they performed a search and seizure is because they believe that there are other crimes coming, that there are other crimes that he himself has admitted to, right, online.
Right,
and they
right.
believe the evidence of that are held within the
So still online crimes. Okay. Right.
Becky. Against Becky. And I can promise you, Aldo was not the only person involved in the harassment, the stalking, the sending unwanted mail to her home. Aldo was not the only one,
Oh, I can believe it. I can believe it.
right? And so I believe that everybody that had some kind of funny relationship with Aldo, where he pretended to be Lieutenant Aldo Rain and he can get information on anybody, and people were sending him information, and he was sending private information about other people. And just because you can get it off an app, you can get it off a website, does not make it public information that you can be sharing around, because Aldo and his little cohorts are dumb enough to admit in text messages to each other what their intent is.
Oh, absolutely.
Intent is what they have to prove.
They did it all the time, and that's the group chat that they removed me from. That one, when they did that, that was the one with Aldo, Pepper, Chapo, and Lena.
Oh,
And
Pandora's here.
Yeah, so
Pandora, we were just talking about
but
you.
it's 10:00. I have to go. Let me know. I'll
Good
watch
night.
the rewatch. But I gotta
Thank
call
you for
my
joining
parents.
us.
You're welcome.
All right, Brittany, this
bye.
is a good time to give you the recap. Pandora gets in my DMs today to tell me that Aldo is under investigation for crimes against a child. And Pandora, if you'd like to come up, you're more than welcome to come up. They're under investigation, and they've already forced him to give DNA. Which, side note, Aldo's been in prison, and since the 1980s, they've been required to submit DNA. He doesn't have to submit DNA now for anything. Pandora,
Yes,
Genius.
ma'am.
Just genius.
everything that you're saying is wrong
And a lie.
and a lie.
Okay. If you believe it to be a lie,
He's
that's
not
fine.
under invest. It is a lie.
Okay.
It is a lie. States are not working together to
Sam, I said what I
get
said to you,
investigation on Aldo.
and I'm very incorrect. And I stated to you, if you go back in your messages, I did state to you, I'm sorry if I got that incorrect. I let you know what else he was being investigated for, so you would know. So you would be aware.
Wait a second. So you send a message,
How do you know that?
and then
Sam, I
it's as
told
simple
you
as
in that
saying-
message exactly how I knew that.
you send messages that people
You
are
said a
being
detective told
investigated
you?
and charged with
Yes, ma'am.
CP, and then turn around and just be like, "Oh, sorry if I got that wrong. Oh, sorry, my bad."
Sam, you're more than willing. If you'd like to call me off the app, I'll play it for you. I have it recorded.
Play what?
You recorded. You recorded an investigator.
I recorded my phone call with the police department. Yes, I did. When
Oh my
I was
God.
dealing with them with my case.
Oh my God.
You're a
You don't
genius.
have a case.
I did have a case.
You don't
Yes, I
have a
did.
case. If you had,
Then,
There's no
yes,
case.
you have a
ma'am.
case number.
I did then.
Did
I
you
did then have a
ask?
case.
Did you ask for permission before you recorded that call?
We have a First Amendment right. We can record any.
That's not. That's not how that.
You can.
That First Amendment
You
has
can.
nothing to do with recording
Yes, it
phone
does.
calls,
We
especially
can record anything.
especially when it
It's
comes
for
to
our
legal
protection.
departments.
It is for
Okay,
our
and
protection.
so
Yes, we can.
this officer or
I don't.
detective gave you
literally don't understand
information
the First Amendment. But
about
anyways,
an
About somebody
investigation
else's
with
Guys,
someone
child.
else's minor child.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
He was letting us know the danger
Of
this
him.
man.
Oh,
And that
wow.
they were fully
While he
aware
was
of the danger
while
of
he
this
was
man.
not when he was not in custody.
Yes.
What?
Wow.
Yes. Guys, you don't
So
have to
wait,
believe
so they
me.
took
It's
his
okay.
DNA? Okay,
I don't.
so
I don't believe
And
that.
that's fine.
I don't
And that's
believe that
fine,
any
Sam.
right.
That's
I don't
fine.
believe that any investigator would tell you that
I
he is
do,
under
Sam. I
investigation
don't
for
think
crimes
she would
against
lie
a
about that.
child.
I'm not lying, Sam, but that's okay.
Well, I do.
Okay.
Okay,
And that's
so
I don't believe any
I
investigator.
want to know. I want to know. I believe her. I want to know. I want to know. I.
can we just play this recording online?
No,
and
I
call
mean
it
this
a day?
bothers me
No,
so
we
bad.
cannot,
I believe
yes.
her. I want to know. I want to know. This is a big deal. I want to know. Can you play it?
No. Thank you. No,
Not
thank you.
Well,
for
privately?
TikTok.
Not for TikTok.
Hell no.
Well,
But
no,
Tracy,
I'm
if
talking
you'd
about
like
like
to call me.
privately. Privately.
Yes, Tracy, if you want to call me privately.
Okay. So what did he do? Okay, can you tell us what the officer said
Nope.
then?
I'm not going to go any further into that. If you'd like to call me privately, Tracy, I will more than glad. Brittany and Sam and Tracy, if you guys want, have no reason to lie to you, Sam. That's the reason why I came to you. I've always came to you.
So this whole big thing with Aldo going on right now and why he's in jail, it's all because some investigation with
I don't know all of why
child?
he's in jail. No, we're not talking about that. We've been advised not to talk about anything with that person, and that's fine. That state has something else to do with it. But listen.
That's when you say that state, there's 50 of them. Which one are you talking about?
The two that are involved right now, Kansas and Georgia.
You can say a state. It's not illegal to say which state. Are you talking about Georgia,
I did.
North Carolina,
Kansas and
Kansas?
Georgia. Kansas and Georgia.
Okay. Kansas and Georgia would not work together at the state level. They just wouldn't.
Okay.
You
They
can
would
laugh
have
at me all you
no
want
I'm
to,
not.
but
He's laughing because we know what we've been told, honey. I'm
Right,
not.
but
I have no reason to not.
so but hold on 1 second. The only extent that these states would like quote unquote work together is to get him from one state to the next. And like, for example, also because he lived in Kansas, they would need Kansas to like collect all of his phones and devices and blah, 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 and then hand them over. But that's like to the extent of what happens. And then Georgia takes over and Kansas says, we're done. That's the only extent of which
So is
those
the
states would work
FBI
together.
involved, or
I
like
have no clue.
Homeland Security, or
Never,
Yeah, I mean,
ever included
it's
any federal
interstate,
in it.
so
if the
this is
FBI
now
was
like a
involved,
federal
then Gilmer,
situation.
I never said
right?
the
If the
FBI was
FBI were
involved.
involved,
Never said the FBI was involved. Sam, I said
well,
it
okay. I'm
felony.
answering a question. I'm answering Brittany's question.
Gotcha. Sorry.
no? Yeah, I was asking.
If the FBI were involved, then Gilmer County Sheriff's Department would not be. And that's for everybody in the chat, because I wouldn't say it to Brittany like that. But no, the FBI is not involved. Kansas and Georgia would not be. If Kansas has evidence or he's under investigation for crimes against a child, we're just going to talk common sense here, right? Not even legalities. I'm not asking anybody to understand the law, but I am asking people to try to use some common sense and some critical thought. If he was under investigation for crimes against a child in the state of Kansas, and he was also under investigation for stalking charges in the state of Georgia, do you think that Kansas would let Georgia take him to their state?
I have no clue what they would let happen, Sam.
No,
I'm just telling you what we were told.
but
And I actually
the
came
answer to
to
that is actually
you
no. Kansas
privately
wouldn't
and
have.
said, "Hey,
Why?
Sam, did I come to you
But
privately?" Because your video was out, and I was actually what I said to you was trying to let you know everything.
well, I don't need to know everything. I don't care what somebody in Canada said. I don't
I didn't say
care
Canada.
what.
This is not
Right,
Canada.
right. I
Sam,
don't
this is
care
not
what
Canada.
what
But
he's
it's
That
also
case was
under.
Oklahoma. This is Kansas. It's a whole different thing. What you're talking about in Canada with what him and Igloo fought about was Oklahoma. This is a whole different
Okay,
state, a whole different
but
case.
Just for the record, I have read court documents about the situation in Oklahoma, in which I will not comment publicly on to a further extent than this. That baby and her sister were in a horrific situation. And Aldo, for all intents and purposes, did save that little girl's life. He picked her up and pulled her out of a horrific situation. And that's the only thing I'm going to say about that. I literally read the court documents, deep dived into that, and my comment only pertains to that very limited specific situation. Okay, that's it.
I'm just telling you guys the way the law works, like the way the legal system works. If he was under investigation for crimes against a child in the state of Kansas, and Georgia said, "Hey, can you hold him on a warrant? We're going to come get him for some felony stalking charges over here in Georgia." And Kansas is like, "Oh yeah, you can come get him. We'll take care of him later." No, Kansas is not going to let him go. Kansas would say to Georgia, "You cannot extradite him. He's under investigation for a different charge, and you can't. We will not let you extradite him."
No, and in fact, because the charge in Kansas would be worse, Kansas would take priority, and they would
Correct.
tell Georgia that Georgia has to wait until they're done with him in Kansas, and then they can have him. And
I don't know
by
who Rob
done,
was.
I mean like a full trial, like
And
guilty
time
verdict or
served.
not.
And time served.
So that I think that's the difference here is he's charged on one, being investigated on the other. So Kansas would have to let him go if he was charged in Georgia and being investigated in Kansas. They have no legal hold yet on him.
No, but the investigation of that type of thing alone would be enough for a judge to say, no, we're not sending him to you. We need him here.
Kansas can say no for any reason.
They could say no just because they don't want to do it,
I
actually.
mean, guys, I'm not arguing the legalities. I'm not a lawyer. I just went to Sam to let her know that there was more to his entire thing.
I think what we're trying to say, though, is like these things don't make sense, is what we're trying to say.
Though. What it appears to be, Pandora, is that credit is, it looks like there appears to be credit being taken away from Becky,
Right.
who is solely responsible, 100% solely responsible for Aldo being in jail right now. It has nothing to do with you and Eric. It has nothing to do with anybody in Kansas. It has nothing to do with Igloo. It is only Becky. Becky is the one responsible. Now, when they go through all his devices, because his devices are in the custody of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Forensic Lab, that's where his devices are now. If they find other crimes that have been committed, he will be charged again with that. He will get his indictments on June 2nd, probably at 10 a.m. or between the time of 10 a.m. and 10:45, probably 15 minutes before he goes in front of the judge for his real bond hearing. Okay? And then more charges will come from that. Now, is he going to be charged with other stuff that he's done to Becky or to people in the state of Georgia? It may be. I believe that the state believes that there is much more than what they just charged him with. What they charged him with was what they had evidence of. The probable cause was why they were able to take his devices back to Georgia and send him over to a lab and see what he got. And the only reason that they did that has nothing to do with what anybody alleged about him and had everything to do with the stupid shit that Aldo would brag about on this app. That's it. Now, when they go through his devices and they find messages between him and whoever, where there's where they're conspiring to stalk and harass Becky or another resident of Georgia, me, where they're sending her things, where there is an intent to harm her, terrify her, coerce her, control her, shut her up, where the intent is proven, because these morons, I don't know if Eric used to be friends with Aldo. I have no idea. But if they're finding any of those things where there's intent to do anything criminal to Becky, he will face charges, and additional charges will probably come for other people as well. Georgia has already determined.
That would be the case if Eric would have been friends with Aldo, but Eric has no intention or never had an intention to be friends with Aldo. There's not really anybody that was friends with Aldo really probably should mentally check themselves. That's just honest.
Aldo had
I
many
will say
friends
that
he was
Aldo
conspiring with.
Aldo told, like, for example, like Aldo literally told me directly, absolutely told me directly that the reason that remember when he had that, like, he was gone for a while, like that absence for an extended period of time. He told me that he threw his some shit was going down, and that's like a as close as I can get to a quote, and he threw his phone in the river. And I'm like, what? That's so stupid.
I mean, water damage isn't really going to stop much if they really want. I mean, it'll
That
get some of it, but not all of it.
even if he threw that phone in the river, I'm sure he's done a bunch of fuck shit since then. So
Or he backed it up and relogged into his cloud or
probably,
some shit.
yeah.
The amount
Sam,
of
That's what I was going to say. It's probably backed up to a fucking cloud
the
somewhere.
amount of back and forth that he's had just with Augie alone. And there's many people involved in this, and I think the state of Georgia understands that. There's Augie's involved, Craig's involved, Austin Foreman is involved, who else? Chapo, Lena. I could go on and on. People that were texting him and conspiring to find information out about people and just to intimidate them, just
His
to make videos.
unknowns.
Yeah, his unknowns, his whatever the fuck you would call him. There's way more than just Aldo. Becky was just the one that
Got it
managed to
done.
say, yeah, got it done. She was like, he's now trying to fuck with my deceased veteran husband who unalived himself, and this shit ain't cool, and I'm tired of it, and I'm gonna scream about it until somebody listens to me. And so for anybody else out there to take credit for, to act like, oh, Amanda was right, or, you know,
Yeah, this is
Lady
going on, or
Jane is-
that's going on because you can't talk about Becky right now and you're upset with Becky right now. That's pretty shitty. That's pretty shitty because
What am
Becky
I
has
taking
advocated
away
for herself. She has advocated for her husband, her children, and she has fought long and hard to get this man in jail. And here you're running behind the scenes whispering, oh, it's for this, it's for that. No,
No,
it's not.
that's not what's going on.
But that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
It's fine. I mean, I'm not never did I take, because actually I was in a live where they actually asked the question. I think it was Angel's Live. And they asked, was it because of my case? And I said, no, it was not because of my case. I'm currently still fighting my case with him, that it was all because of Becky's case. I've never taken away from her credit for that. Never once will I.
She gets 100% of it.
Most
100% of it.
definitely. Yes, she does. I've never taken away from that. In fact, what I told her when he actually went to jail was, congratulations, you did it. So no, I'm not taking anything away from her, Tracy.
To be fair, Aldo did it.
Well, yes, Aldo did do it, but she was able to get it.
You know,
She was able to get
like there would be nothing to be reported if Aldo had
I mean, absolutely correct.
done it
You are
and kept
correct.
doing it.
But no, I've given her all of her props. This is all her. Never would I take that from her.
Well,
I
I
stated
think
that
that we
there's
should just
additional information as well. That's all I stated. Not taking that away from her. Never will I take that away from her. She did that all by herself.
And it had nothing to do with the child.
Nope, never said that one had anything. Actually, it did have everything to do with what he was trying to do to her and her children. So yeah, it did have something to do with children. What Aldo was trying to do to her and her children.
All right, you're arguing semantics. You know what I meant when I said it has nothing to do with a child. I'm talking about essaying a child, a minor, whoever told you. Was it the investigator that told you he was required to give DNA?
Yes.
But without a charge?
I'm telling you what he said.
They have to. They have. Okay, so
know,
let's say the. Okay,
lawyer
let's
know that he was
let me
currently being
let me
charged
play.
with what he was being charged with in North Carolina and in Georgia.
But let me play devil's advocate for a moment, because if, say that's true, say the investigator was like, yeah, he was required to give DNA. That means in order to give DNA, he either has to agree willingly, or they need a subpoena, like a warrant, to get his DNA, because he could say no, and then they have to get a warrant from a judge to do it. Like, they can't just be like, you have to give us DNA, and he's going to be like, yeah, okay.
Or swab your mouth. Yeah, that's an illegal search and seizure if he doesn't
Yeah.
agree to it, or they don't have a warrant for it.
But all
There-
that
there
kind
are
of
a lot
goes
of
right
things
out the
that-
window because he's been to prison for 19 years of his life and a 10
So they
times
have his
felon.
DNA.
They have his DNA. His DNA has been in this system
His
since
DNA is in
1980.
CODIS, bro. His DNA is in CODIS.
That's why it's just when you say like they required him to give DNA for what? Is he the father of a child? You know what I'm saying? Like they have his DNA. They've had it.
I can only tell you what the cop said, ma'am. That's all I can do.
Are you sure you were talking to a cop?
Right.
Was
Because
this
I
like a desk cop or like an actual officer? Because
As
those
long
are
as
two
it
different
wasn't
things.
Jennifer Hugh from the Florida Police Department.
Right.
Please, God, don't let
Like-
it be Jennifer Hugh.
We've seen some shit from this app. I would not be shocked if someone just called you pretending to be an investigator or a cop or whatever. I'm not saying that's.
Yeah.
I mean, it just wouldn't
I
shock
get
me.
what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. But this was a return phone call, so I called the detective back at the the Lyons Police Department. Lyons, Kansas
Why
Police.
would they? Why would they? Was it your child?
No,
I'm curious as to why Lions police officer would call you to share information with you about somebody else's child or an open investigation.
And actually, if you want to be super accurate, anything regarding a minor child cannot be shared with anybody outside of their parent.
okay.
You
well,
are not legally allowed to have information on a case regarding a minor child.
I'm
An
sure I'm not
investigation,
legally. That would
anything.
not be me that gave that information.
No, I
That would
know,
be
but
me
what
that
I'm
gave
saying
it.
is if that cop really told you that, he was way outside of what he was allowed to do.
I understand what he was way outside of what he was allowed to do. That was way outside of it. Yes, we were both a little astounded that he gave that information. But what he stated with it was, I'm telling you, he is a dangerous man, and you should be very cautious of this man.
I want to
That
hear
was
this. I got to hear this phone call because now my curiosity has killed the cat.
And officer told you this after you reporting Aldo for being a dangerous man.
no.
I missed the. Okay, can you start over because Vinny called me from the living room.
Start over. Start over. I guess we all didn't know this. At a certain point, I started the thing with the protection order. Had a protection order against Aldo.
Okay.
And was in contact with the detectives, as well as the detectives here in my state. Back and forth contact with the county that he lives in and the police department of his city he lives in. All constant contact. So these were officers that were constantly calling me as well, me calling them with everything that was being delivered to them, with evidence and everything, like everything I had to give them.
Could the reference to being investigated for child P whatever be in reference to the tutu video? Like if someone reported that to the officer and the officer's like, well, we're investigating an incident. This
Oh yeah,
guy's
the
being
reports
investigated
to
for it.
CPS or whatever that were made
Yeah,
on him.
over the fucking tutu. Yeah.
There was no further details into that, other than this was in Lyons, Kansas, not Oklahoma.
I know that's where he lives in Lyons, Kansas.
Correct.
Right.
An investigation for where he's at currently, not previously. So I didn't have anything to do with the tutu.
But that
He was
wasn't
living in
that.
Kansas when the accusations
Yeah,
were made.
and it was reported to Kansas, and that video had nothing to do with Oklahoma.
At all.
They're stating this is from where he's at now, not
Yeah.
anything previously that he did.
So they're stating that the alleged victim is also in Lyons, Kansas.
That's what the investigation is from.
So they could be referring to the tutu video.
Right.
They could be referring to a lot of things.
Could be.
The investigation can be taking place in Lyons, but that doesn't mean like the alleged victim is necessarily
all
there.
we know is that this is currently the investigation from where he's at now, not any other place in time, but where he's at now.
I assume you did not get the protection order against him.
I did. And then it was the temporary one was granted. Then the other one was granted. Then he appealed it. We went to appeals. He appealed it. And in the state of Kansas, on an appeal with a protection order, you have a trial de novo, meaning that you have to go back all the way through it again. And yeah, obviously, currently submitted the paperwork to appeal mine because it was overturned in his appeal. So I've submitted to overturn again in my appeal. But my appeal goes up to the appellate court, not a trial de novo.
So it was the protection order was overturned. So you currently do not have a protection order against him.
Currently, right, correct.
So if he's such a dangerous man, according to Lyons County, how did they overturn a protection order?
I don't know. The first judge was not very happy it was overturned.
And if he's such a dangerous man, why did they just allow Georgia to like run off with him?
Again, I can't answer that question, guys.
Because you're still innocent until proven guilty. You could be under investigation all they want.
In an ideal world, yes, but this isn't an ideal world. and they treat you as though you're guilty until proven innocent in this world.
Yeah, I mean that's the reality. They treat
Right.
you,
So I mean, we know
but still,
that just is strange to me. But
technically, they can't do shit.
I've never heard of that where
uh-uh.
the state would be like, well, we have him under investigation for crimes against a child, but Georgia, you can come and get him for this felony harassment, felony stalking.
They can't hold you.
Right.
Still free. So they're going to nail. So if they can charge you, then they're going to charge you. If Kansas can't charge him yet, Georgia can charge him. Then they're going to get him in the system. That's where they want him.
Would you like for me to explain to you how that would work? Would you like for me to explain to you how it would work?
And let him go home.
Would you like for me to explain to you how that would work? How Kansas would keep him in the state of Kansas while an open investigation was going on?
Listen, Sam, I appreciate what you're going to explain there, and I will definitely be more than glad to listen. But in all honesty,
I got work in the morning.
He's got work in the morning, and you guys don't believe what I have to say anyway. So for what it's worth, I appreciate you. And I definitely appreciate you guys letting me be here and talk to you. You don't have to believe me. That's fine. I don't need you to believe me. That's the thing. So you guys have an amazing night. Thank you so much.
Good night. Okay, for the record, if Kansas wanted to hold him, they would just levy charges against him for something minor.
Yeah, tiny. They wouldn't need a lot to be able to hold him. And actually, an investigation to that magnitude would be enough to keep him.
Right.
They wouldn't even need to levy a charge against him. An investigation of that magnitude, there's no way they would let him out of their sight.
They could charge him with stalking. They could have charged him with crimes against Pandora.
They could just literally detain him on suspicion of CP. They can detain him during an investigation. That's all the reason they need to hold him.
No, I don't think he's ever had charges in Kansas for anything serious.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
His original charges that landed him in prison were in Oklahoma.
And here's my thing. I'm not saying Pandora's lying. I mean, I kind of feel bad that she felt that way, but
Wait,
it just doesn't make sense.
No. The custody case was in Oklahoma. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation, that report was from his prison time in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
And he also had, I think, some, if I recall correctly, I think there was some like jail time when he was in Nevada, but I don't recall that. So that's not a fact.
That was a long time ago, right?
His prison, yeah. His criminal history was in Kansas. He went to prison in Kansas. His custody case was out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a dick to Pandora. Just what she's saying. I'm sure she probably does have a recording with this guy, and we could probably listen to it and listen to everything he says. But I've got concerns. I have concerns over a police officer just giving out information about somebody else's minor child. What the hell? But I
have concerns about a police officer giving that kind of information to just a random person. While
not involved in the investigation, not the victims.
But
parents.
Also, what would stop her from making a TikTok or messaging people on TikTok, that information getting back to Aldo and him popping smoke? I'm out. You know? Like the reasons why people aren't told that the reason why you don't know that there are indictments coming or that a warrant is out there for you usually is because they don't want you to run. They don't really like for you to run. Usually, I think more people are going to get knocks on the door and they don't even know that they're under investigation. And they're just going to get a knock on the door and be like, "Hey, come visit Georgia with us."
Right.
I feel like there's a potential for that.
Yeah, I think there's something a lot bigger coming down the pipeline. I don't think it's what Pandora and Amanda and all them are trying to mislead it to. I think they're completely deflecting away from what Becky has going on. And it's so weird. It's so weird to just try and write up and take claim for something. Like what Aldo has done is bad enough. What is coming for Aldo is bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
But to go around in DMs saying all this crazy shit.
Like there's more to it than just
Yeah,
that.
that's just shitty.
I read the court filings. I've read the motions. I can figure out what an attorney is attempting to do just by reading their motions. There's a lot more. They've already asked for an extension after they're served the evidence. They haven't even seen the evidence that they have against Aldo. They've not even been given the evidence, but they've already asked for an extension. You get 30 days in Georgia. An attorney has 30 days, or a defendant has 30 days to respond to evidence against him. They've already asked for a 10-day extension to go over the evidence.
Yeah.
Because they feel like it's going to be an overwhelming amount of evidence. And Aldo does not have this is not like I don't know, Brittany Cheyenne Dodge public defender. He's got two attorneys that I believe that these guys deal with higher level crimes.
So, like, the other thing, too, and I don't think people realize this, is like cops can say a lot of things that are inaccurate within the legal system. I've heard lawyers a million times say cops are fucking stupid when it comes to the actual court process and will say shit that's just completely inaccurate. And it's not all cops, obviously, but there are a lot of them that got big mouths and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
That's why a lot of cops won't tell you once it's in the hands of the court, they don't say nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I literally had an officer one time tell me, like, there's nothing I can say right now because, the DA's office has it. Okay, cool.
No,
Okay.
I don't think he's paying these attorneys. I just think that these are not second year out of law school public defenders that he's got. And he's got two. He's got two attorneys. And they're both signing off on motions. And that's not normal. That's not just because they're in a partnership, right? My attorney Nick has a business partner. His partner, I don't even remember that guy's name, but he's got two attorneys signing off on every motion.
That's weird. Both of them
Yes.
sign off on every motion.
Yes,
Not
both
just
of them
both.
signed.
That's weird as fuck.
Right. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of weird things going on.
Yeah, the
They've already
documents.
asked us.
I don't think I've
documents are
ever
different.
seen something like that where you have two attorneys signing off on everything.
They've preemptively filed a motion to suppress evidence.
Oh my god. They don't even know what evidence they have. How are you going to suppress it if you don't know what they have?
I guess they're
Unless
assuming.
you know what they have because your client admitted some shit to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. It looks like
Wait,
I don't
Dodge
even,
said he was going to try to bail him out
he should.
this morning.
He should.
Oh god.
I want him to try.
Cool. How does that make East feel? Because East is like hardcore Team Becky. Whoa.
I don't know.
Risky.
I don't know. But Aldo's in jail because of Aldo's actions, but Becky pushing. Becky's the one that got it done. Nobody needs to take that away from her. And it looks like Becky's going to take down the whole house.
Yeah. And I mean, anything else that they find through their investigation, I mean, that's on Aldo. That's on Aldo and the stupid people and the stupid shit they were doing around him.
There will be some limitations to that, though, to some extent. Like, they're not going to go through and, I mean, if they find anything else outside of what it is they're investigating, it would have to be something pretty big for them to file separate charges.
Dodge wanted GOP to physically sign for Aldo. Wait a minute. How is a dude on bond going to sign for another dude's
GOP.
bond?
No.
I don't think that's a lot. Well, okay, so you're talking about scope of
Yeah.
of interest with
Yes.
a warrant, right? Okay, so their scope, so I want to see the warrants for the devices is what I'm interested in. I believe, and that's why I'm like, I don't think it has to do with anything of this random shit these people are saying. I think it has to do with all of the people that Aldo had involved in the harassment and stalking and intimidation.
Yeah.
Aldo bragged many times about the unknowns. Many people got in Aldo's boxes and admitted to partnering up with doing these things.
I mean, he also said that he had access to Russian satellites. Like,
Right.
Oh my god.
Right. A lot
If
of these
I would have
people
heard him
got
say that, I would have had to have laughed because stop it right now.
right. So I'm interested in, and in one of the motions, it did mention conspiracy.
Hmm.
Let me go look at it and see, like, get the actual wording. Hold on. Y'all talk amongst
Yeah,
yourselves.
the warrant.
No,
the
he
wording,
wasn't on
the-
probation or parole. He was
No.
well beyond. It was, I think it was like 20 years ago was the last time he was in trouble or something like that.
The wording of the warrants is what would define like the scope of what they're looking for. Because cops find shit in investigations all the time that are technically illegal, but because that's not what they were looking for, they can't touch it. So it'd have to be within the scope or something extremely severe outside of the scope of the warrant at that point. I don't know what the warrants say, though. Were the aliens involved? Yes, absolutely. We have things being thrown into lakes and aliens and Russian satellites in the dark web. This frog is really pissing me off.
yeah, I was gonna ask, what is that?
That's a frog. We have a really loud tree frog, which is what you hear. And then in the pond are a bunch of bullfrogs. And every one of them is loud as hell tonight. Nope, that's a tree frog. Does Georgia prisons have... Maybe GOP could like go visit Aldo.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, Aldo should send an engraving to replace Hellcat's tapestry.
I think he made one of... Oh my god.
It's the Bella call.
That's a...